change as news of a new kid spreads throughout the land. In order to save the humans, the Grand Wizard must get to the new kid.
Okay, so right before this video starts, basically, people are asking what the Hidden Kenny is. If you find the Hidden Kenny throughout this video, comment down below of his timestamp. If you're the first person to comment, you'll be featured like this guy in my next video. So that GT Kid 101 was the first person to find out, so shout out to you, and I hope you enjoy this video. Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another South Park video, and we have some pretty news to talk about. So this is just kind of speculation video of what I think is going to happen, since I'm a regular fantasy user. And basically yesterday morning an update went live, which wasn't supposed to go live, which actually had 3 nerfs to 3 cards that we see right here. So these like 10 cards, which what I think are going to get touched at least. I know some of them might not get touched, but hopefully they come. And also is to say that there is another sci-fi buff and nerf coming, so we'll see about that. But Stan the Great actually did get nerfed, so his enemy attack decrease is from basically pretty much cut in half overall now. So which is, I think it's alright enough. So as far as like Stan goes, especially when people first started using him in the meta, because to be fair, I didn't really see him at a certain level, but Stan, it was so powerful I pretty much had to switch over to him because I was using Poseidon Stan at the time, and I mean, his basically attack just, it's supposed to reduce the attacks for all enemies rather than I stop the whole enemy's attacks, and at a certain point it gets kind of OP. But even still, at max level 5, max level 6, they still cut decently in half, like the health, like about 700, maybe almost 100 if you get to a certain level, and it's still pretty powerful. Now, moving on to Paladin and Butters, it's definitely getting nerfed. He already did get nerfed, actually, kind of a big thing, which I don't really agree on, but his cost changed from 2 to 3. Now, it makes sense, I guess. I see what they're doing, because they're trying to make the Paladin Butters and Princess Kenny combo like redundant, and like, I mean, any doggy and Paladin Butters like push is kind of like deadly. It's kind of guaranteed a bar almost, but I'm not sure if making him free cost is actually the right way of doing it. Although that being said, he is pretty powerful and he does need a nerf. Now Prince Kenny, it's understandable nerf, and I'm happy they did this rather than anything else. But Princess Kenny is now, Death Wish is from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. Bear in mind, these 3 changes are on the public, they came out and they're not final. They did say that they're not guaranteed, and it was a mistake. So hopefully, I think tomorrow we're gonna actually get the actual dev update and we'll see what's actually happening. But when they came out, Princess Kenny's Death Wish was from 5 seconds, which it makes sense, but it kind of takes away from the fact like all Kennys are like 10 seconds, like you mind control for 10 seconds. So they're changing that now at least. As far as Princess Kenny as a character, she's still like the best, I think. Whenever you do make someone lose their attack, it's either like when an assassin's pushing you and you just quickly put him down, and the tower will normally take him out. Most of the time, you're not really using the full 10 seconds at least. So that's the thing. Next is Shield Maiden Wendy. One of the only 2 legendaries in fantasy which needs a buff. The invincible 3 seconds is pretty good. Maybe she had more health, kind of like how like Heidi is. That would be pretty useful since she is a free cost. You know, she could be like a Heidi with shield. That'd be a decent thing to do at least, because she ain't usable right now, especially when you have a max level 3. She is like a kind of a threat, but then again, she can just kind of get assassin spammed and just die. Moving on to Dark Mage Craig. Now this is a tricky one, since people do actually still use him rather than Mephisto, because it's kind of like a between them 2 kind of thing, but or even both. But Dark Mage Craig is basically a free cost, but is also a ground unit, so you kind of get that diseffect. And I mean, I honestly think they should buff his leader ability, or his war cry, just because, I mean, cutting half the enemy attack for like 5 seconds, it's shit, pretty much, literally. I don't feel like it has as much, like, if you use Dark Mage Craig, you use it for his AoE ability rather than his actual his war cry. And I think maybe doubling it for 10 seconds even, since, you know, Prince Kenny's got a nerf now, so you can see like a double combo with them. But as far as that, I think that's pretty much just him. Carl of Drow Elves, tricky one, since I'm not sure if they will touch him, but I'm just going to put him in here just in case. So how he normally works is that he gets his charge off just before he hits the middle line, so you kind of counter him. Maybe just just a little bit, just reduce his movement speed a bit because he is pretty fast and overwhelming sometimes. Now, Cowboy Timmy, I don't think he's going to get touched. He already did get nerfed quite hard with the 3 rats down to 2. He is considered the best Timmy next to Mecha Timmy, but hopefully we see a Mecha Timmy buff. I mean, sorry, nerf. Imagine. Okay, so Leobar Jimmy, this card I really like. The only thing is that he's full cost, which doesn't make sense because you got Freya Jimmy, Enforcer Jimmy, which both have more powerful abilities and are 3 cost and 2 cost. It makes no sense, at least in my opinion, why this card costs 4. Literally, I've seen this card twice, I think, in game. You never like kind of see this card used. If they were to make him 3 cost at least, it'll make him more useful. This is a tricky one. Robin Tweak is it's a make or break card. If you change this card a bit, you make him too OP or make him just worse. And if you touch Tweak, you can touch Ike. Ike is or Canadian Ike. It's a card that is OP, but it's hard to get off sometimes, and it's a card that you have to deal with. Like obviously people use lightning bolts, which is a good thing. But I think for Canadian Ike, it's difficult since most assassins are commons. So you kind of gotta have Ike to at least max level 5 to survive any hits and make him usable. Before I had him max level 5, I would basically let my tower get hit first, or another unit get hit, then spawn him down so he's able to take him out. But if these two get touched, at least I don't think they're gonna get buffs. Maybe Robin Tweak might get a slight attack buff because he's kind of weak. But you gotta bear in mind that Robin Tweak doesn't actually get hit by the tower, so you can kind of just sit there and just chip damage. Moving on to the Grand Wizard Cartman, who is my favorite tank, but I don't really use tanks no more. See, my problem is with cards that cost too much, they don't see a lot of use. So having a 6 card Cartman, especially with all these like abilities where you can just take him out for 5 costs, I think making him 5 costs, in my opinion, will be decent. Because then, if someone has Transmography or Unholy Combustion, which also just got buffed, we could see an even trade, which maybe we might want to use him more. Maybe tone down his knockback a bit, because sometimes you chase him, Cartman's just chasing him around the match. And maybe if they really want to make him more legendary, in quotations, just make his charge attack do a lot more damage. Pretty much like half, like kind of like a charge ability like Stanley Great, where if you get that charge ability off, you kind of guarantee like a good push. So people will be using, especially for Mystical, you could see more power binds if this guy gets more play. Okay, and the last one, but not least, is Rogue Token. Now, I've seen a lot of discussion about this guy, especially compared to Witch Doctor Token. I honestly don't think they should touch him. Is in my opinion, it's just, if they reduce the actual like size, fair enough, but I don't think they should. The damage, no way they should nerf it, because this is the only like spell card which like fantasy can use. I know Cock Magic just got nerfed too, so you're not seeing much of that, because normally you'd be able to like see what cards are getting changed. Now you can't. Transmography is just not worth to use, and Rogue Token is the only decent spell / card that is actually worth using in fantasy. It's you know, you got Poison for Sci-Fi, and you got Fireball for Adventure, and like if they touch Rogue Token in any way, it could drastically like nerf fantasy hard, because especially when I play, what saves a lot of pushes, and I'm able to survive the assassin spam of Adventure. And so imagine if someone's using Adventure and Sci-Fi, and you have all them 2 cheap cards where Ike, Heidi, Sally, Enforcer Jimmy, like they can just spam them out, and the only way I'm able to counter that is by using a Rogue Token. And I kind of like how he is now, especially with his range at least. I'm able to take out, for example, a Angel Wendy or a Nathan when you get a certain range. I'm just able to hit him, and that's what I kind of love about him. So hopefully he doesn't get changed. I don't think he should, since he's an epic card. You know, epics are supposed to be epic. Hopefully he doesn't get touched, but they're kind of like the 10 cards I think are going to get touched. I don't think 10 of them, all 10 are going to get touched. Hopefully they don't. But if we look, I didn't actually include all of them. So Randy did get, all Randy kind of got buffed. So I'm not sure he's going to get touched. Transmography, once again, I mean, they could turn it down to 4. I don't know. It's just not worth, especially with Unholy Combustion, since it does area damage right now. This turns into a rat, which still damages your tower if it gets to you. Clocked Magic, like before, it's gotten nerfed, so you can't see who's actually getting hit, which is a big thing. Chicken Cube got a buff, so we won't be seeing that. I kind of like where it is now. Underpants Gnomes, they're in a solid spot. I don't think they need any changing. Duggies are just Duggies. You know, you can't if you nerf them too hard, they're not going to be usable. If you buff them too hard, they'll be like OP. I think Duggies at like level 5 max are pretty good. Dwarf King Clyde, I'm not a regular user of, as you can see, so I'm not sure. But I know when people use him against me, he's not too OP, but he's not too weak. He does get some hits on my towers. His attack speed is pretty fast, and he's a solid character, I think. So that's going to conclude this episode, guys. Let me know on your opinions on what you think is going to be happening. Obviously, we will find out tomorrow what's going to be changed, but if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. As always, thank you guys for watching, and peace.